Well, folks, we still have Republican governors out there spreading vicious lies about our public school system. Late last week, it was Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, Republican endorsed by Trump, who said that he's going to ban the pole dancing and the pornography that are in our elementary schools, which was a shock to everybody across the country, basically, because we understand those things aren't in elementary schools. But this week, it was Heidi Ganahl, the Republican gubernatorial candidate in the state of Colorado, who released a list of 30 schools. Her campaign released a list of 30 schools in her state that she says are accommodating furries. Basically allowing kids to dress up head to toe, full facial covering as animals. And the school says this is okay. This is what they identify as. We're fine with it. And of course, her Republican base in the state of Colorado absolutely believes it. She is not the first Republican to make this claim about schools in this country. She probably will not be the last. But what's happening right now is a little bit different. Because in the state of Colorado, officials from Aurora, Boulder Valley, Cherry Creek, Colorado Springs, Denver, Douglas County, Jefferson County, Mesa County Valley, and Weld County have all spoken out against these atrocious lies being pushed by Heidi Ganahl, because there's no evidence to back any of this up. In fact, most of these counties have pointed out very clearly, our school dress code alone would prohibit this from happening. Like, all you had to do was look at the code of conduct and you would see that this isn't a thing that would be allowed in our schools from the district level. But they don't care, right? The Republicans don't care about the follow-up. And that's always the problem, folks. But it's like I always say, Republicans do crazy, outlandish things to rile up their base. They pass legislation that they know the courts are going to overturn, but it's still red meat for their base. And by the time the actual resolution comes about, like the law they passed getting overturned by the courts, Republicans have stopped caring. They heard the thing, they were outraged, they're still outraged with it, they don't bother the follow-up. It's the same thing with these claims about schools, where Republicans have also claimed in these furry classrooms that they're letting the children use litter boxes instead of going to the toilet. And then by the time the schools speak out and say, you're insane, the Republican base has moved on, right? It's already in their head, they allow furries, the kids are shitting in boxes, we're moving on now. We're still mad, but we don't care about the story. We're not going to pay attention to the follow-up because the follow-up doesn't get as much attention as the initial story, right? You make headlines with the crazy claims. Then when it gets all refuted or struck down by courts or whatever, nobody pays attention and the media doesn't pay attention. And that's the problem. But what Ganahl did with releasing these 30 schools is she put lives in danger. That's what this is. Teachers across the country have already been facing death threats. Principals, school board members have faced death threats from crazy MAGA ultra-conservatives who believe that these crazy lies their Republican lawmakers are telling them are true. So they call the schools and say, I'll kill you. I'll kill you, teachers. Even though none of it's true. People could die. People could die because of these claims these conservatives are making. So I'm glad these school districts are speaking out, but it's still not enough. The national media needs to get on this, call these idiots out, and show the world how crazy the Republican Party has become. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.